Welcome back to Feel Good Breakfast Show. This is Expresso and S3. And as I mentioned to you a little earlier, you know, this is all about the kids, about e-learning. It's about making sure that we are keeping up with the technological times while ensuring that education is paramount. So primary schools all the way up to tertiary education. I mean, many lessons and lectures have actually migrated online. We've seen that throughout the entire 2020 year as well as 2021. While initially in the rush of the pandemic, teachers made do with their laptops and built-in cameras, a lot have since upgraded their home classrooms to become a full-on production.
Yeah,
Proper.
so we've got Grant Hines in the building. He's joining us from his home to show his setup and take us through what some teachers are doing to make the best of the distance from their students. So Grant Hines not here, but he's over at HQ, we'd call it. Grant, you in the building?
I like the idea of HQ. How's it going?
Like a man in you.
I'm great. Yeah, like a lot of people are teaching from home. I have a lot of friends that are teachers, and a lot of teaching friends have contacted me about how I do my live streams, because a lot of the gear that we use to live stream is being used to teach now, because teaching is becoming somewhat of a production. And although I have a rather excessive, you'll see now, I've got quite an excessive production as
Wow.
it is. This is literally, let me go through some of the basics with you so you have an idea of what it's like. First up, what I want to do, let me just drop you on this wide over here. We have
nice.
good lighting. Good lighting is extremely important. I am using something called a Stream Deck. It's like a vision mixer. It's something that everybody that is behind the scenes in the control room of the show right now understands. It's how you cut between different cameras. I've got multiple cameras. You don't need multiple cameras in order to teach, but sometimes it can be a great teaching aid. For instance, you might have something that's on your desk and you might want to show it off. Say you've got something like you're drawing. So these drawing tablets are another tools that are being used as teaching aids, because you can then, have people look down on you. Or if you need to just like go through to another part of the of your room, you can do that if you're a different kind of teacher. And you don't need to get expensive cameras. There are lots of different kinds. I use like a camcorder, but you also get webcams and cheaper camcorders that you can use to fulfill the same function, which is really cool. These are the vision mixers, and a lot of people are buying smaller ones. A lot of teachers are buying small ones so that they can just quickly change between maybe a PowerPoint presentation or something, so that the students can see what they're doing. Yeah. Another thing that I use is a microphone. If you are a teacher and you want to sound good, if you're having a meeting or whatever, good sound is always the most important thing that you can have on an online production. The camera comes second. In fact, the camera that you are seeing right now, this is my phone. I've actually used it as a phone. Let me actually bring this up for you so you can see. This is my phone on a tripod. And I'm able to then use it as a roaming device throughout the room as I do it. So you can use the phone that you have as a camera. And then having good audio means that you just stand out in the room, especially when you're on a call with a bunch of kids. I can imagine how all the kids sound bad because they're all just using their devices that they have at home. And you, as the authority in the room, will just sound really good. So get a good condenser microphone. That's what you spend money on. Everything else you kind of build up as you go along. And then if you really want to, I've got a green screen. Just check this out.
Oh, yes. Oh, I was waiting for this moment. Put something interesting behind you.
Yeah, so if you're a teacher, you could potentially drop something interesting behind you. I am going to quickly drop, this is the main shot that I have, and I could drop something like this. I've got buttons that change my lighting. Ooh. So I'm gonna just change my lighting. So there we go, that's brighter. And then I can do things like, zoom into the camera full screen. I've done presentations like this at education conferences in Birmingham from Cape Town last year because everything went remote. And I'm able to do this and go like, there's something behind me. Let's talk about it. And then it just looks so much more impressive.
Also, it's quite nice to be able to stare at your teacher when they're floating in the sky other than a boring backdrop at the same time, man.
Also what I realized that Raul and I could actually work from home. We don't need to drive into studio thanks to this. Thank you, Grant. Makes sense. It really does. But I mean, it makes a lot of sense in terms of cutting through the noise. And I think that quality does actually speak to authority. It also speaks to credibility. And I think these are tools that every teacher or lecturer actually needs. So Grant, thank you so much for the information. And we miss you in studio, my brother, but I can see you don't really need to be here.
I miss you guys. Oh, no. That's the future. It's the new normal.
It
is the future. I feel like the last thing I should do is ask you to send me back to the Matrix. You look like Kit with all that gear there, man. You are such a setup. I love it.
I'm on it. I'll get you there.
And I mean, the vision mixing is also working as well. I mean, there are so many teachers who have innovations and lecturers. So if you have any, sort of teachers or lecturers who have done anything exciting or different to keep your online lessons fun and different, please let us know. Go to the Expresso Facebook page. We'd love to showcase them and highlight them as we get on to a very special segment for you, which is around e-learning. Here's Graham and Jamie.